Hello everyone. So in today's video, I want to talk to you about a couple of things. Most importantly, the UPSC Essential course. But before that, I want you to understand what is an ecosystem. Ecosystem is something that is an interconnected thing. Multiple parts moving all in sync in order to help and aid each other. And the core idea is ecosystem का एक center होता है. And that center is what everything else is in service of. That is the core idea of an ecosystem. Now, why am I talking about this? Because when it comes to the UPSC ecosystem, and so far as it concerns whether it is helping UPSC aspirants, it is broken. I'm sure a lot of you are aware of what is happening in the ecosystem right now, but the reason why it's broken is very simple, that where everything should revolve around an aspirant, now there are coachings who are trying to pull away, no, this is happening, that is happening. They're all trying to ensure that, the coaching is the one that is benefiting rather than the candidate. And that is not something that is fundamentally good for the aspirant or for the industry as a whole. Because only when we are concerned with serving the needs of the aspirant, only when we are fulfilling their aspirations, can we expect a long-term growth and something sustainable over here. And this is the reason why a simple thing has to happen. The aspirant has to be at the center of the conversation. Everything else has to revolve around the aspirant. However, even these basic things now sometimes we have to repeat and clarify because of the way things are. And the reason that these things are happening is why we have designed UPSC Essential in the way that we have. And this is going to be the one and only course that you need for civil services exam preparation, for the simple reason that with UPSC Essential, you, the aspirant, becomes the center of attention of the entire ecosystem that we have set up for you. Now, let me tell you how. But before that, I want to very proudly say that AIR 102, Abhishek Chauhan, was a student of UPSC Essential. And it's extremely proud moment for us, because to have somebody who joined us in one of the first batches of UPSC Essential. He joined UPSC Essential in 2023. And I had told him jokingly that if he wanted to give 26 attempt also, he would still have access to mentorship from the course that he bought in 2023. Why? Because we give 3 years of mentorship access, because we know that this exam journey is like that. Sometimes there are ups, there are downs. We are here with you. We will stay with you. We are willing to support you through your ups and downs. And that's the idea. And we really congratulate Abhishek on his magnificent achievement. So let's talk about your educators and your mentors. Now, sabse pehle, the most important thing that I want to highlight over here is that your educators are the same people who are also your mentors. A lot of institutes, what they do is that educator will be somebody else and then mentors are somebody else, and there is a disconnect between the two. Educator will be teaching something, mentor will be suggesting something, and then even right there you're confused. This happens when you are not the center of the ecosystem. So this is the reason why at UPSCprep.com you will have past rankers, people with multiple interview and mains appearances in the civil services exam and other UPSC exams. All of these people are here to help and support, guide your journey towards success. So I will obviously be here. I teach geography. Shashank sir over here teaches mains. Krishna sir teaches environment. Ketan sir teaches economy. Ketan sir is also the author of the Indian Economy Handbook. For those of you who have not seen that book, I would highly recommend that is a book that will change your economics journey. A lot of economics seems very confusing, but Ketan sir has taken great pains to make this book. It's a 400-page book and it explains everything that you need to know for this exam so far as Indian economy is concerned. Then you have Nimish sir, who teaches modern history. Neelam ma'am teaches polity. Rohan Salunke sir, ancient medieval, art and culture. And Neetu Tiwari ma'am, who is your strategy expert, somebody who has given multiple, mains interviews, has cleared multiple prelims, and at the same time will also be teaching environment. Now, Ishan Srivastava sir appeared in the UPSC interview, science and tech. Trisha ma'am, English. Anil sir teaching CSAT math. So this is your team over here. Selected candidate, selected candidate, Punjab PCS cleared twice, teaching polity in DU, UPSC interview appeared, multiple mains appeared, also pursuing PhD in IIT Bombay, interview appeared, English teaching experience, math teaching experience. So you have a team who is not only credentialed, who has the ability to deliver the things that we want them to, but at the same time, these are also people who are going to be your mentors. If Anil sir is teaching you math, he will also be there sitting on the mentor call, helping you resolve your doubts. Same for me. I will also be there on the mentor calls, helping, supporting, and guiding you towards success in your journey. Now, so when you're preparing for an exam like Civil Services exam, there are multiple parts that have to come together. So far as this course is concerned, there are multiple functional units that I want to talk about. The first and most important functional unit is a structured roadmap. What does a structured roadmap mean? When you have to do so many subjects, history, polity, geography, economy, environment, science and tech, art and culture, ancient medieval, current affairs, all of these things have to come together in a structure. If you are just haphazardly doing, morning may you're doing polity, evening may you're doing history, then night may you're doing environment, tomorrow entirely different subjects altogether, so then you are not going to make it no matter what you do. Why? Because you are not structured, you are not organized. The reason you need to be organized is because there is a lot that needs to be done, and you need to do that in a structured and organized manner. So in this course, you will get that structure. We will go step by step from the absolute foundation. From NCRTs, we'll go to basic resources, to advanced resources, then we'll have revision, then we'll have more tests so that you can focus on prelims, then we'll have more mains classes. Step by step, everything will keep going in this manner. And the simple idea over here is that we start from absolute basic, foundation level. NCRTs are the base, and we start this course with NCRTs. You are going to be learning each and everything of class 6 to 12th NCRTs. Now sometimes NCRTs are so great that you will also be covering those NCRTs in GS basics. But we'll start from NCRTs. Over here, NCRTs plus reference books. Then in the GS advanced phase, we'll be talking about mains. There'll be a lot of focus on answer writing. Then there'll be the revision phase 1. Now, naturally, if you're preparing for 2028, you also need to work on your optional, right? You cannot just only keep focusing on GS. So there will be a space over here where your mentors will help you plan out, okay, how do you spend time with your optional, while at the same time reviewing your GS subjects through tests, through discussions with your mentors, and through access to the classes that you have already got. Then in the prelims focus phase, you will have something called prelims SIP. Just like an SIP is a small investment on a regular basis into your financial freedom, a prelims SIP is that. Through small daily tests, we will help you develop the aptitude that is required in order to ace prelims. Prelims SIP ke baad aayega mains GS Advanced 2. Here, further focus will be there on mains through more classes, through more answer writing, through more strategy sessions. Then another revision phase, mains revision, and interview focus. Everything that you need in order to clear civil services exam has been structurally figured out over here. And more important than that, this is something we pride ourselves on. All of our students have given us positive feedbacks for each and every part of these things. Right. So these feedbacks you can pause over here and read them out. But that is the idea. This is a feedback for Indian Economy Handbook, जो केतन सर को आया था. Now this is a feedback that a student sent on our Telegram channel. And ये टाइप के जो feedback हमें मिलते हैं, so that is also telling us that what we are trying to do is actually helping students overcome the problems that they are facing. Now, इसके अलावा जो course schedule है हमारा, everything is pre-planned and no tentative thing कि we'll figure out what will happen when that happens. No. Right now, we are going to tell you through a detailed schedule that when you'll be having which classes, what subject will you be studying when, and we take pride in this. We take a lot of pride in this fact that this sort of planning is important. अब यहाँ पे एक और चीज आप देखोगे, even in this plan, there are gaps in the middle. Why are there gaps in the middle? Because no matter how well you plan out, and since this is a long-term plan, this is going to be the plan that you're following for the next 2 years. In this plan, there will be a lot of gaps. There will be, like for example, 1, 2, 3, के बाद you'll have 6, 7, then 9, 10, 13, 14, 16. So gaps are there, right? In the month of April, you'll have maybe 15 to 20 classes, but the rest of the time will be free for you. There will be no classes for the simple reason that at times life gets heavy, life gets taxing, and I may miss a class. There might be something, there might be a social event that I have to attend. I might fall sick. There might be an emergency. In such a case, if I miss a couple of classes, it should not be that, life is now over and I am behind and there is a backlog and I can't cover it even if I try. No. A good plan is a plan that is flexible, that gives you space, that in case you miss something, you have time to cover up. And that's the idea over here. So this is a very, very detailed plan. आप इसमें आओगे तो even in the month of November, Wednesday, 18th November, 4 p.m, you'll have agriculture ka second session, and then 7 p.m, you'll have the third session. So you can go through this in detail. For this, obviously, you can visit courses.upscprep.com. There, the course ka schedule, brochure, all of these things will be made available to you. Please do check it out. There is no tentative planning. All the lectures are live. Because this is also something that we understand, that when our educators are constantly showing up to the class, if we've said that there is a class at 4 p.m, the educator will be there 5 minutes before the class starts. The classes will not be delayed. Classes will start on time. And at the same time, since we are putting in the effort, we also expect you to put in the effort. And that is what we have seen a lot of students do. That because the classes are live, there is also the urgency that no, I should attend the class live. And that helps build your consistency, which is one of the most important things in this entire journey. Right. So the second functional unit of this course is personalized mentorship. Now, what does personalized mentorship mean? Personalized mentorship doesn't mean that you are one of 50 people who is sitting on a call and then, the mentor or, the star teacher is just taking your random doubts. No. Personalized mentorship is one-to-one guidance. Your doubts will be taken up, your specific queries will be taken up, and they will be resolved, they will be addressed. And who are your mentors? The same people who are teaching you, people who are past rankers, who are experts. And they are going to look into your test scores. They are going to look into, okay, what have you done? Did you understand the class? What were the problems that you faced? Your doubts and queries will be taken up and resolved. And that is the thing that we want to do over here. We don't want to be, only once in a month or once in 2 weeks you can book a mentor call. No, these are unlimited mentor calls as many times as you want, whenever you have a problem. Particularly, we say that in these 2-3 cases, whenever you've given a test, whenever there is a doubt, or in general, every 2 to 3 weeks, you should check in with a mentor. That is the idea. Whenever you have given a test, if you have given a test, if you're giving 3 tests in a week, I want you to book a mentor call thrice. I want you to come and discuss those tests, because discussing those tests is what will help you improve, is what will help you actually make progress. And if you are putting in the effort of giving so many tests, discuss them. At the same time, sometimes, I don't always have doubts, but whenever I have a doubt, I want you to note it down and then bring it to the mentor call. Sometimes your doubts will be resolved in the class itself, because classes are live, so you can ask your doubt right then and there. But at the same time, if it was not addressed in class, or maybe, you were not able to clearly understand in class, it is only later that you realize, okay, I have this doubt, bring it to a mentor call. Which is why we've said every 2 to 3 weeks, definitely come for a mentor call. Just give us a progress update, ki acha ye cheez ho gaya, aisa ho gaya. And that's what it is. Now, beyond this, personalized mentorship is for 3 continuous years. Why is this the case? Now, this is something that I mentioned very early on in the beginning when Abhishek Chauhan example we were taking. I'll tell you why. For example, right now you are in March of 2026. Right, let us say that you're giving 2027 ka attempt. So 2027 ka attempt if you're giving, so what will happen? March 26 ke baad you are giving prelims in May of 27. Right, prelims के बाद you'll give mains in August 27. Then interview in Jan of 28. Right, result will come out in March of 28. By the time the result comes out, you might already be preparing for your next attempt, which will be in May of 28. So, generally what happens is that while I'm waiting for the result, I have already started preparing, because I will not be waiting ki bhi, okay, last date tak whenever the result is coming, uske baad I will start preparing, because not enough time is left. You have to put in effort for mains, you have to put effort for prelims. All of these things, you can't wait for the result to come, you have to get started beforehand. So even let's say you get selected in your first attempt, but you don't get your service of choice, you will be giving another attempt. Even that attempt in May of 28, you will still have mentorship from this course itself. May of 28 ki wajah till March of 2029. And see, if you've made it this far, we are not going to say, nahi, your course is over, you can't access mentorship, anything of that sort. We are here with you. If you're giving your second attempt, if you are going through something, reach out to us. We will be more than happy to help. And that's the idea of 3 years of mentorship. That in this journey, once you get started, 1 year of preparation and then 1 year of the exam cycle itself. By the time that you come to the end of that exam cycle in March of 28, this will be result of 2027. You will already start preparing for the next cycle. That is the idea, and that is why you get 3 years of mentorship in this course. Now, this is some feedback that Rohan sir is, he's sometimes called Pookie sir, because he is somebody who is very lovable and he really ensures that, all your doubts and queries are resolved. So this was a very nice message that one of the students had said to Rohan sir. At the same time, this was an email that we got, because we keep our emails and personal email IDs for each and every faculty will be made available to you so that you can reach out to them. At the same time, you can reach out to us on Telegram, WhatsApp, number of ways you can reach out to us. Right. So this is some of the feedback that we have gotten for our mentorship. Now, functional unit 3. One thing is that, we are teaching you, but even teaching requires a certain amount of skill. Teaching cannot just be, I am reading a book to you, because if that was the case, you could have read the book by yourself. Teaching requires a certain amount of pedagogy. What is pedagogy? The method of teaching. And combined with the phase-wise approach, the pedagogy that we use is based on the idea that if you put somebody in the deep end of the pool without ever having learned swimming or without ever having gone into the swimming pool before that, they will panic. They might swim, but they will definitely panic and they will definitely get stressed out. And with civil services, what that essentially means is that if you put somebody directly into, okay, today itself you will solve mains and everything, they start panicking and they quit. Maybe you'll try for a week, maybe you'll try for a month, but definitely by the second month, you will have quit the entire process. So if you really want to become a civil servant, the idea is simple, that you slowly raise difficulty. Difficulty is not something, if this is difficulty, we start small, step by step, phase by phase, we build up to it. Day 1 pe, I don't give you, how is the geography of this particular region impacting the history of this particular region? No. Day 1 pe, we just talk about, okay, what is geography? Slowly from there we build up, and then eventually we learn to interconnect the subjects. It is by phases and the right pedagogy. So we use a lot of pedagogical approaches over here. This is the idea of Bruner's spiral curriculum. We use these sorts of latest innovations in pedagogy to help you learn better so that you can retain more information when you actually need it. Right. So there is some more feedback that we got. मतलब इस तरीके के जब feedback हमें मिलता है, तो then obviously we are also very happy, because this motivates us to put in more effort. So this is a feedback that Anil sir, who is our math and logical reasoning faculty for CSAT, has gotten. This was a feedback that we got when one of our students had cleared another exam, and then they were telling me the effort that we had put in for GS made it very easy for them to clear the other exam. That is the idea. Not just civil services students that are enrolled in this course are also appearing for other exams, which a lot of people are doing. And whenever they keep getting this success, they keep sharing this with us. And see, no matter what I say, having this sort of a feedback when your student comes and tells you, you helped me do this, it's really heartwarming and it's really fulfilling. That's the idea. Now, apart from all the classes, lectures, mentorships, XYZ, we will also be having strategy sessions in this course. What are these strategy sessions? We'll be telling you the best revision strategies. It's not just about reading. It is about reading in particular ways. What are those ways? How do you make notes? How do you write answers? What is the best way to write answers? We'll give you breakdowns. These strategy sessions will be things jo ab, YouTube pe, there are hundreds of videos out there. You cannot watch each and every one of them. We will give you the best distillation of the content that is based on experience of multiple rankers that are part of this course for you. And that is the idea over here, that these strategy sessions are distilling the best information that is available on these particular topics, how to revise, how to make notes, how to write answers, then how to manage your time well, how do you analyze mock tests. All of these will be part and parcel of your course itself. And which brings us to functional unit number 4, that once we are done with studying for any subject, the most important part is for you to test that knowledge. Please keep in mind that when we go back to our school days, testing is seen as, the end of something. No. Over here, with civil services preparation, testing is integrated into your everyday learning. On a daily basis, you'll be given some daily practice questions. These are questions that we give based on, okay, let's say today in geography class, you have learned time zones. There'll be some questions on time zones in your DPQ for that day. Why? Because these questions help you actually figure out, okay, did I understand or was I just, daydreaming in class? Because I'm sure a lot of you know that happens at times. Even if I don't want it to happen, I can be tired. There can be a number of things. Having a DPQ which tells me right then and there, okay, I missed something. Then I can go to a mentor call. I can ask in the next class. So all of these things are aimed at helping you stay on track and on top of your preparation. And not just that, there'll also be bigger tests. Daily practice questions, you'll get 10 to 15, you'll get some mains questions, that will happen. But beyond that, you will also have full tests, right? A full prelims and mains test series is included in this course. Prelims ke liye, you will be getting 45 tests, which includes both GS and CSAT. Mains ke liye, you'll get 21 tests, 17 sectional and 5 full length tests, meaning each and every subject, as soon as you're done with them, both for prelims and for mains, you can test them. You can test your knowledge, and testing is your friend in this journey. Don't think of test as ki if I score bad marks in a test, I am a bad person. No, you are not. Scoring bad marks in tests is a great thing because it tells you what is wrong. And if you know what is wrong, you can work on improving it. And that is the idea that I want you to keep in mind over here. So all of this is included in the same course. And that's the idea, that live lectures which are structured, which are comprehensive, covering each and every GS subject from prelims and mains aspect, along with a prelims and mains test series, along with mentorship by past rankers and experts, all of this with you at the center. That is the complete ecosystem, and that is what this course delivers. So with UPSC Essential, the idea is simple, that you'll be getting access to live recordings, access to the live lectures and those recordings till March of 2029. You will get access to one-to-one personalized mentorship till March of 2029. If you're joining in March, access to live current affairs classes till March of 2029 all over again. And then mains test series ka access, this will be till mains of 2028. Right. So ideally, the only thing that you have slightly shorter access to is the mains ka test series, but even that is maybe a few months shorter. And that is because we want you to write those tests. writing those tests, getting those scores, and then discussing with your mentors is the best way that you can improve in your journey. And we want you to really use this course to the best effect. Now, the medium of this course will be in English, because we believe that if you are giving the exam in English medium, studying in English doesn't make sense. Because whatever you study in class, that is something that will rub off on you. Sooner or later, when you're constantly doing, hundreds of lectures in English medium, your language skills will also start improving. And if you want to write the exam in English medium, English is how you should be studying also. That is, a basic common sense thing. So therefore, the medium of this course is English, because a lot of the people that are writing this exam are writing it in English medium. Right. So weekly current affairs classes की when बात करते हैं हम, these are classes that will happen every Monday. These will be live sessions where you will also get material based on whatever has happened in the last 1 week. You will have 3 years of access to these live current affairs classes, meaning from March 2026 to March of 2029. Every Monday, you will have a current affair class where, Rohan sir, Neetu ma'am, and all of our expert faculties will be there helping you, guiding you, and telling you how to use this in the actual exam. And that's what it is. That this is a feedback that, current affairs ka hamare jo initiatives hain, that have been getting. That the second initiative that we run for current affairs is the Core magazine. So the Core magazine is freely available to each and every one. You can join our Telegram channel. You can get that from our website. So these are magazines where we try and keep it as comprehensive, objective, relevant, and exam focused. See, why does it need to be comprehensive? Because if you have to do 2 magazines, 3 magazines to cover current affairs, it is defeating the purpose of doing a magazine in the first place. But at the same time, it has to be objective. It cannot be that I'm giving you a magazine every month which is 300 pages, because that is also defeating the purpose. The idea is that it should be focused. It should be oriented towards the exam. It should be aimed at giving you enough information that you can solve questions in the actual paper. That is objective, that is relevant, and exam focused. There will also be sections which will deal with mains, so that whenever you're making your mains ka notes, whenever something is in news multiple times, it increases the probability that there will be a question related to it. And therefore, exam focused, there'll be some questions, some practice sessions that you can do right there with the magazine itself. So between the weekly current affairs classes and the Core magazine, these are some of the reviews that we get on Telegram, on emails, everywhere. These are things that have been really, really praised by a lot of candidates. So you can pause the video over here and you can check these things out. But the idea is simple, that we connect these different topics. We don't just say, this is important. We connect it to how it is important, what are the subjects it's relevant to, so that you can actually use that information in the exam. Because in the end, that is what matters. Information is out there. Chat GPT use karoge, sab de dega wo. But are you able to use that information? If not, it's not useful. Now, all of this will be PYQ focused. The live classes, even in the classes, will be doing previous year questions. Daily practice questions mein aapko PYQs direct aayenge, and on top of that, questions very similar to previous year questions will also be there. Even in the test series, we will have a lot of PYQs. On top of that, there'll be a detailed analysis of 13 years of prelims previous year questions, because the idea is simple over here. Any given time, any given moment pe, Civil Services Exam के previous year questions are the best source of information about what is relevant for the exam. So therefore, your lectures in this course, the tests in this course, everything in this course will be oriented around previous year questions. And this is not ki, we'll be doing them separately. They are integrated into the live lectures itself, in the DPQs themselves. And this is simply because no matter where you go, previous year questions are the best source of information about this exam. Matlab, this is not me saying it. Every year, any ranker you ask, the one thing that they will all say is once they started focusing on previous year questions, things changed. So here, the focus is built into this course. Now, so this is the idea of UPSC Essential. Everything is a part and parcel of this course. You get 3 years of mentorship, you get a test series, you get daily practice questions. We help you develop critical thinking, because with mains, so long as you have not developed critical thinking, you will rectify a lot of things and not be able to use them. So you need critical thinking, live answer writing sessions, study material, everything you will get in this course with 3 years of live access, 3 years of mentorship, all of these things in one single course. And Abhishek Chauhan will also be joining us. He is a student of UPSC Essential, so therefore we asked him, can you be there for the first session of this course? So he will be joining us for the first session also. He will be sharing some of his strategies and ideas about how to make the best use of this course and how to prepare for this exam. So the course is starting on the 16th of March, which is Monday. And for those of you that are interested, the course price is on a normal day this. But today is not a normal day. We have a discount going on. And at the moment, you can use the code EB4U to get this price for this course. If you're interested in joining, you can visit courses.upscprep.com. Over here, use that code, get this price. This is for Civil Services Exam 2028 candidates. This is the UPSC Essential 2028. Similarly, for 2027, the course is usually this, but if you use the code EB4U, this is the price that you will get. Visit courses.upscprep.com, get this discount, and we will get started. Now, if you have any further queries about this course, about anything related to the exam in general, you can reach out to us on WhatsApp, on email, or you can reach out to us on our social handles, which are UPSC Prep IAS on Twitter, Instagram, and Telegram. So that will be all for this video. Thank you all for watching, and all the best on your UPSC journey.